Hi guys, what's up? It's your girl Charla from That Girl Cooks Healthy. Today I'm going to show you how to make this no-bake chocolate cheesecake. It's vegan friendly, silky, decadent, everything you need in a sweet treat dessert. I cannot wait to show you guys how to make it, so let's get to it. So these are the ingredients that you're going to need. What you will notice is that some of the ingredients are duplicated, and the reason for that is half of the ingredients you're going to need, the ones that are duplicated, you're going to need them for the crust, and the other half you're going to need it for the filling, which is why you see two sets of some of the ingredients. You're going to need some walnuts. Walnuts are the best option for the crust compared to using something like cashew nuts or almond nuts or macadamia, because they tend to be more of a smooth textured nut. So I do recommend using walnuts, or you can use pecans. They will be another great choice for the crust. You're also going to need some cashew nuts. It's really important that the cashew nuts are soaked. So you want to soak them in advance. I've soaked mine in advance. You can fast track this process by just putting the cashew nuts in some boiling water and changing the water a few times. That does fast track the soft texture that you're going to need for the filling. But if not, if you don't do that, then you definitely want to just leave them to soak in some water overnight. You're also going to need some zucchini, which is also known as courgettes. I know them as courgettes. So you're going to need courgette or zucchini, and again, this is going to be part of the filling instead of using the typical tofu that we tend to use in vegan recipes. You're also going to need some maple syrup. So I have 2 lots of that. Some cacao powder, which is a vegan version of cocoa powder. You're also going to need some coconut oil. This is really important to use coconut oil. Don't use any other type of oil. You need an oil that solidifies, and coconut oil solidifies, which is the reason why I'm specifically using it for this cheesecake, because it does come in handy for firming up both the crust and also the filling. Also for flavoring, I have some vanilla extract, some nutmeg, pink salt, and I also have some shredded coconut as well. So the first thing that we need to do is line and grease the sides and the bottom of a spring foam pan. So I have a 9-inch spring foam pan which has a loose bottom. Very important to have the loose bottom spring foam pan for this recipe. So the first thing that we need to do is to prepare the crust. So I have a food processor fitted with an S blade. Now what I'm going to do now is to add the walnuts, and then I'm just going to pulse them. I want the consistency for the crust to be quite fine, but not too fine. So what I do is, when I've added the walnuts, in terms of the setting, I start with the lowest setting on my food processor, and then I just proceed to just break down the walnuts until I feel that they're pretty much broken down. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. So after about a minute or so, I'm just going to stop the food processor and remove the lid and just check to see if it's reached the desired texture. To me, it's still a little bit too chunky, so I put the lid back on, and again, now what I'm going to do is just pulse it again on a low setting until it gets to the texture that I want it to be. Then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. So the second time it most likely will be the right texture because it's pretty much broken down already. So I'm just going to stop it now and show you guys again and remove the lid. I'm going to grab a spoon and just show you what the texture looks like, and the texture is pretty much broken down. So that is the texture that you're looking for, that it's broken down. And then what I'm going to do now is move on with the other ingredients. So the next thing I'm going to do now is just to add the shredded coconut with the pink salt. So I'm just going to sprinkle that into the food processor. Then I'm going to put the lid on. I'm just going to pulse it just once or twice, just so it pretty much combines with the walnuts. So now I'm just going to stop the machine and remove the lid. Then I'm going to drizzle in the maple syrup, followed by the coconut oil. And again, I'm going to put the lid back on and I'm going to pulse it just once or twice, just to make sure that it completely binds and sticks with the walnuts. You don't want it to turn it into a dough ball. You just want it to the point where it melds together and it's somewhat sticky, but not in a complete dough ball type of way. So the next thing that we need to do is, with that mixture that we use to make the crust, you want to just scoop that in to the middle of the pan that we lined and greased. So you just want to transfer all that content into your pan, and then you want to use a spoon. So use the back of the spoon to just press down. When you're pressing down, you want to be mindful of the evenness. You want to make sure that you've distributed the crust evenly, that it's not lopsided or uneven, and then you just want to put it to the side. So now that the crust is ready, let's make the filling. So I'm using my blender this time. So you want to use preferably a high speed or a sturdy blender, and then you want to add the ingredients for the filling. So you add your coconut oil, your maple syrup, your vanilla, your spices, the zucchini, courgette, cacao powder, and the cashew nuts in no particular order, although you will notice I'm adding the wet ingredients first. So you want to add the wet ingredients first, and then you want to follow up with the rest of the ingredients. It doesn't matter the order for the remaining ingredients that's not wet. You just want to start with the wet ones because they're closest to the blade, and it's also going to make it a lot easier when it comes to pureeing. So once you add all of those ingredients, we're just going to puree it. You'll also notice as well that you might find you may need to add a bit more coconut oil. This is subjective, and this also does depend on whether you have a really sturdy blender, so just keep an eye on it when you're blending. So after about a minute or so of blending, it should be ready. So what I'm going to do now is just to stop the machine and remove the lid and show you guys what it looks like. You can see it's a smooth consistency. It's really important that it is smooth because this is going to be the filling and you want it to be silky smooth. So I'm just showing you with a spoon there that mine is silky smooth, and I'm ready to put this on top of the crust. So now that the cheesecake filling or topping, whichever you want to call it, is ready, the next thing we need to do now is just scoop it out of the blender. I'm just using a large spoon to do that, and then you just want to just scoop it on top of the crust. So once you've put all of the cheesecake topping on top of the crust, you want to just use the back of the spoon. You can see there that I'm using the back of the spoon just to gently just press it down to make sure it's even, and I'm also rotating the spring foam pan as well. That's very important as well, just to make sure that it's nice and even. And also what I do as well is I shake the pan as well just to make sure it's completely even. And you want to just cover this now, so you just want to get some saran wrap or cling film, whichever you call it, and then you want to put it in your freezer, and you want to freeze it for, I freeze mine overnight, so minimum I'll say 8 hours, well preferably overnight. Make sure that you have enough room in your freezer for this as well, because you don't want to put anything on top of it that will potentially sabotage your cheesecake. So just cover it over and leave it, I recommend overnight, and then I will show you what it looks like the next day. So now I'm going to show you what the cheesecake looks like after I froze it overnight. So I'm going to remove the wrap and show you. It does have a small amount of freezer burn because I have two freezers, one that is frost free and the other that isn't, and the only space that I had in my kitchen was the one that was the one with the freezer burn, so it did get a little bit. So if that happens to you, don't worry about it. So I'm going to show you how to remove it from the pan. So just push your hand underneath the pan. You want to make sure that you leave it to defrost for about say 30 minutes before you do this move, and then all you need to do is just remove the parchment paper around the sides, and I suggest cutting it while it's still on the pan. You'll find it a lot easier to cut it on the pan, and also you want to keep it in the freezer still. You can leave it in the fridge, but it's going to be more of a mousse texture, just keep that in mind. So I do recommend that you keep it in the freezer at all times. So this is what the cheesecake looks like now. I put a little bit of decor on it because I'm serving it to some guests, so you can do that if you want to. Like I said, this is a great no-bake cheesecake. You don't have to bake it. It's vegan friendly, dairy free, gluten free. It covers so many dietary requirements. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will catch you on the other side.